Can you show me what you're working on? Are you all finished? What were you working on?
I'm projecting my
5, 4, and 0. Your eyes should be focused on whatever.
And so she was actually one of the long-term subs that I was using last year.
Okay.
She worked with small groups, and she really, I mean, we're looking like she really just had a commitment to meals and wanted to work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she's teaching first grade, and she has done a really great job.
So what did we see that looked like good,
Mm-hmm.
that looked like an effective implementation of our literacy block?
So students were, I think that her structure was there. Students had meaningful literacy tasks that they were doing in the stations. She had her small group table set up. She's using data in order to group the students and working with leveled text.
Okay.
She actually was using the Mondo script
I saw that.
for her
Yeah.
group. Little concerned about like that. I know I moved on to the other group, but I think she started going through the actual script of the Mondo lesson from there.
Okay. So we saw structures, foundation, students knew the routines, they knew to check which group they were in, the tasks they participated in, involved reading and writing.
Right.
We had 6 kind of writing, copying words, and we had 3 reading. And you said she's using data, so does that mean to create, how does she create her book bags? So then with everything we saw today, and what you said about the guided reading, what would be our next step?
So one of her next steps is to continue to look at just that meaningful task at the teacher table, like how we're building just those phonic routines as kids are about to delve into the text, and then even pulling out what that big comprehension skill they're going to work on as they go through that. Well, she's working with fluency. Like, I know she's trying to work with the fluency, but you got to do more than just fluency. They can't just read during that time. And so she's working with our early childhood coach. She models lessons.
Okay.
I mean, she's modeling lessons with her.
When I go in the room, I'm thinking, what is the ratio of reading and writing versus stuff? Because I'm wanting to see reading and writing, 70, 80% of that block. And so when they're at the teacher table, there was a lot of stuff in teacher talk, and it took them that full rotation of 15 minutes before they started reading. And then they were doing a choral read, which is fine if that's their first round, but I'm just wondering how can we maximize the amount of time that students spend actually reading? And I think you're right to say, look at that Mondo script.
Going back to that alignment, and we've actually talked through alignment before, so I'm a little
So you would
concerned.
expect to hear her reference that comprehension skill in her small group,
Right.
regardless of what the Mondo script said.
Exactly.
Because we would be carrying that from whole group to the
To-
guided shared reading all the way to
Exactly.
the small group or the guided reading. Okay. All right. So that could be a next step, talking about the alignment and focusing, making sure that she knows why she's posting it and how that relates to her practice in class. And then what about checks for understanding? How is she promoting mastery?
It wasn't any. Like there weren't any check for understandings at the group. And I'll tell you, I just did a spot observation on her 2 weeks ago, and that was where we were because it was a whole group.
Okay.
all those. And then when we finish, we need to read a book.
Oh, so then you're reading to self after you do those things? You have those? Okay.
Okay, so with our first teacher in first grade, how would we rate our lesson objectives? Actually, for that first 2,
I mean, I really couldn't give it more than a 1.
Because it's routines, like we want
Right.
kids to read fluently, but
Right.
yeah, as far as really looking at their instructional calendar and figuring out that comprehension skill, and then the rubric requiring that students know what they're learning, why it's important, how it's connected. We didn't really see something that looked like it came from whole group.
It's a small group.
Okay. All right, I agree with you on that. What about demonstrating mastery?
I found that different groups, it really works differently with that first grade team. They want to be the best at their craft. So within our PLC, posing the question and them talking through their practices and then coming up with, so what are some things that we can commit to just as a first grade team that we're going to do during our literacy block, and then setting up that accountability. Okay, so myself or Ms. Robles will come in next week, and so we could expect to see this during this time. So I think that is one effective way with that first grade group. But then the one-to-one conversations are really good as well, because they all individually, there are actually 3 teachers, we saw 2 of them, they're all, well, 2 of the 3 are actually really receptive to that type of feedback.
Okay, so as I pack up to leave, I wanted to please remind you to go to the Google link I sent and fill in your event information, because we want to make sure and have a really exciting and fun teacher appreciation event in 2 weeks. Okay.
Yes, I know the teachers are going to be so excited about that. Will do.
And then as far as visits, I will be back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And is this a good day? Wednesdays are still good for you?
Wednesdays are still good.
Okay. And we'll try the phonics lesson.
Okay.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Tanya.
Thank
It was a good
you.
visit.